Coming up next on this edition of In the City, the Murfreesboro Transportation Department asked for assistance from the Fire Rescue Department. Also, 6 Murfreesboro City schools sent 200 buckets filled with essentials to Ukraine. Plus, Murfreesboro City schools hold their annual African American Cultural Night. And the street department shows off their newest equipment to help find problems before they get big. We'll tell you all about those stories and more coming up right now on this edition of In the City. Welcome to another edition of In the City, your source for what's happening right here in the city of Murfreesboro. I'm Michael Linn White. It would have taken thousands of dollars for the Murfreesboro Transportation Department to fix a cut fiber cable, so they called the Fire Rescue Department.
The City of Murfreesboro Transportation Department lost communications with traffic signals on Medical Center Parkway, and traffic cameras were cut. This communication is a valuable tool because timing plans are run throughout the day to keep traffic moving. City traffic technicians located the fiber optic damage underneath the bridge on Medical Center Parkway. The conduit would need repairing that housed the fiber optic cable. Due to the location of the repair, costly specialized equipment and workers from North Carolina would have to be obtained. After closely discussing the issue, city technicians decided the conduit could be reached with an extension ladder. To ensure safety, the department reached out to the Murfreesboro Fire Rescue Department for help, which they gladly agreed. With the help of MFRD, repairs were successfully accomplished.
We work very closely with the fire department and police department because traffic signals are on the street. They are our eyes in the field. And this team of Carl's and Jamie's is a fantastic team to work with. They are always willing to help. So we really appreciate that, and I feel that, we have a great city here with great departments coming, hand in hand to help us, take care of, problems like this that can be done in a timely manner.
If we can save another department money by being able to do something for them that they may not have to rent equipment for or pay someone to do for themselves, and that's just part of taking care of our citizens. We really try to find people with a passion about caring for people. That just goes right back to taking care of the citizens, is taking care of everything else that involves that.
6 Murfreesboro City schools sent 200 buckets to Ukraine filled with essentials like personal care items, kitchen utensils, and safety items. Overall Creek Principal Don Barch heard about a church donating buckets full of supplies to Ukraine through Healing Hands International in Nashville. They're called Family Buckets for Ukraine, filled with essentials for displaced families.
These buckets are meant for a refugee situation, or unfortunately if their house is destroyed or something, they have to move for safety. They can take this bucket with them, and it has household items, matches, candles, and some safety items. It does not have food, it does not have clothing.
The church's goal is to fill 10,000 buckets, and Murfreesboro City schools will fill 200 of those. And they are almost complete in reaching that goal. Not an easy task, considering they only had 1 week to gather all the items needed for each bucket.
What we did at Overall Creek is each class did one. Some of the other schools at grade level did one.
6 Murfreesboro City schools are participating in this effort, and Principal Barch says the kids and parents have rallied together to pull off such a large donation in a very short period of time.
The response has been extraordinary. And so to turn around, everybody's busy, everybody has a busy schedule, and I think what it did is it made everybody kind of stop and say, okay, wait a minute, I can't put this off.
A local company donated a truck to take the buckets to Nashville so they can get shipped out to Ukraine as soon as possible. Principal Barch says he is just happy to help in any way and very thankful for our giving community. For CityTV, Michael Linn White. Murfreesboro City Schools hold their annual African American Cultural Night at Patterson Park Community Center.
Murfreesboro City Schools, we really believe that the schools belong to the community, and we want our schools to be a reflection of the community, and our African American cultural celebration is just another way for us to step up and say, let's be part of our community, let's make sure that we're partnering with our community to make sure we're showcasing the great things that are happening here.
In Murfreesboro City Schools, we have celebrated several different cultural nights. We want to celebrate the accomplishments of individuals in each of those cultures. We celebrate diversity in our district, and we want all of our students to feel good about who we are. We have tonight the African American Cultural Celebration. So we have the African American Heritage Society of Rutherford County here tonight. We have local artists here, local authors, and then some community organizations that are also have a presence here this evening. It's important because as the district, we want to highlight all the different cultures that exist in our district, and I think it's a way of bringing the community together.
Again, it's just exciting for us to get together and share what makes Murfreesboro so great. And one of the things that makes Murfreesboro so great is the diversity we have in this community. So this is a great night for us to celebrate that diversity and to see maybe something we didn't know was happening here in Murfreesboro.
I've been blessed to land here in Bradley. I've lived my entire life in California. So this is my first time in Tennessee. We just moved my entire family. While we have been kind of closed off a little bit just in the sense of not having as many families on campus, we're looking forward to opening our doors. So the more families that we can have on campus and celebrating and connecting, I think is really just a big part of our rich community. We've had a couple opportunities this year to connect with Patterson, so I really appreciate my time and conversations with Dr. Jenkins. She's been phenomenal, and we're looking forward to having some end-of-year activities here as well. So in our kids, the more that they can come from school and connect after school and be part of our enrichment programs, the STEM, the game room, the swimming pool, those are all things that are wins for our community.
We always welcome volunteers and community partners in our school district. We make things available for you to be able to assist us. I mean, there's mentoring going on, there's homework help that we need help with. There are projects such as the backpack food program. We send food home on the weekends with kids. So there are numerous opportunities to volunteer and to get involved in what's going on in our school district. So if you want to volunteer and get involved in what's going on in Murfreesboro City Schools, just give us a call at our district office and ask for community outreach, and we'll get you connected.
The Murfreesboro Street Department's new CCTV van is one of the most important tools in their stormwater toolbox.
That's why their new CCTV van that replaced one that couldn't be repaired is one of the most important pieces of equipment in their department.
Well, what we do first is when we put the camera in the hole, we come back in here and we make a log of what segment of pipe that we are videoing. That way, if we find any problems, we collect that data and enter it into our inspection. And we will start controlling, which will get the camera moving as slow as we can. That way we can collect any data or anything we see. And as we go through here, we'll look for defects in the pipe. From where the joints are, we stop at every joint to make sure that the pipe is sealed and not separated. And so if it's a really, really bad defect, then that goes on the priority list of where, hey, we need to get this fixed, because if we don't fix it, two things are going to happen. It's going to end up causing a lot of problems, and it's going to back up water. And if it backs up water, people get flooded out. So right now we're fixing to come to, it's either a blind connection or an area drain. This segment will end as soon as I get into this box.
Finding and repairing issues before they become major problems is a benefit to the citizens of Murfreesboro.
We've saved a lot of money. We've also took care of the taxpayers as far as like fixing a problem that they would not know about. With this being concrete pipe, it could cave in and cause a big hole, which will back up water all the way to 2 or 3 neighborhoods over, and then you have to find that problem and it may not be in the neighborhood that's 2 or 3 streets over.
We asked Justin some weird things he's found in the drainage pipes.
We tend to find cats. We help the lady get her cat out, and some of them don't move and some of them take off running. So I have been TVing for about, I think it's 4 years doing this. And so we finally this year got a new van, and so we're able to be a lot more like a one-stop shop, to where we can stay out in the field longer and we don't have to go back. We can do everything within the van. I say we probably do about anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 foot a day, give or take. That may be on the low end. You're looking right now as we go, we're almost at 300 foot. I will keep running the pipe until I can't run it any longer. Most of the time, like when people set their sticks and leaves on the side of the road and they wash down, they get in the drain, it backs up the water. Water sitting in any pipe is not good, because we want the water to flow. Because if we don't have the water flowing, then we have more problems. As long as the water's flowing and getting out, we're fine. Well, the camera can be totally submerged. If it's raining, we're still doing this job. We're at the end to where what we're looking at now is another manhole. We made our observation already for it being the end of the pipe, which was 455 feet. We will switch camera views. We will go to the rear camera, and as we come back, we have to go to the reel because we're so far out, and we have to get it to pull the cable back.
Murfreesboro City Schools hosted its first STEAM in the City, where students created STEAM booths and competed in STEAM competitions.
Murfreesboro City Schools recently held STEAM in the City, a STEAM expo at the Lane Agri Park. 5 schools that are designated TSIN schools, which stands for Tennessee STEM Innovation Network, and 3 schools trying to become TSIN designated.
Mr. Rocha at Bradley Elementary, his school is a STEM school, and Overall Creek, we're a STEM school.
And you're Don Barch.
That's right. There we go. 3 of the other Murfreesboro City schools are participating as well that are vying for TSIN, and they actually were notified this week that they're still in the running. Yes, so that's what this is, to bring it all together.
So if you walk around on the other side behind us in the other room, we have dozens of booths. We have our kids all the way from kinder to 6th grade that have put STEM activities together. So things that range from bat boxes to animals to wind power to you name it. So there's lots of tables, lots of our kids that are out there.
So our project is about chicken coops, and we're trying to see how does scarcity affect the flow of our community. So we thought that if we built chicken coops for chickens, we would have a reproduction of meat and whole foods in our stores and markets.
We had to go through the engineering process, and we had to answer the question, how does the scarcity affect the flow of the community? We had to do some research about chickens on where they live, what they need to eat. We actually made some out of popsicle sticks.
My favorite one out of all of them is this one. It's from my friend Anaya's group. I like this one especially because it has a garden on the top that's showing that if they have a garden on the top, they also have something to eat that reproduces every time they run out of food.
So what we did was a set design. Our set design is a stage. Our story was why sun and the moon live in the sky. We had to build a set design of what we thought that story looks like.
I had to paint the sun and moon, and then we had to hang them. So like if moon is talking, they'll pull it up, and if sun's talking, they'll pull it up as well.
I had to help figure out what we were going to use for the pulley system, and I had to paint moon. We learned how a pulley worked in simple machines.
And then on this side of the building,
This side, we're going to be doing a design challenge. The schools are mixed, so it's not one school versus another. And the children don't have an idea of what they're working on, and they have an hour to work that problem out, and then they're going to be judged on that. They've been given some idea to practice on and work with, but they really don't know what they're going to be doing.
STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics. STEAM adds arts. These are broad terms that are used to group together academic disciplines that use hands-on activities to teach children.
and it's taking that engineering design process and making it real.
This makes why you need to learn how to read, and why you need to be able to do math and science and social studies when they're working on these engineering projects, and they're collaborating, trying to figure out how to do school and get kids engaged. And the engagement is phenomenal.
It's not just opening up a book. It's, in the cases like you're going to see here, they have all these random items on the table, and they need to figure out how to put things together. For example, earlier in the school year, we had kids do zip lines, and they had to figure out how to get across this water obstacle and make sure that it was successful. So part of it worked, part of it didn't, and then they just had to redesign and go back until it worked. We're excited to see a lot of families in the community, and we're just going to celebrate tonight all the kids' learnings and failures that come with the process.
It's going to be a great night.
A fun afternoon for Murfreesboro City school kids with both the MTSU men's and women's tennis teams. A windy day didn't stop Murfreesboro City school kids from getting out on the courts and learning some tennis skills.
This is the spring version of the Murfreesboro City Schools Clinic with MTSU Tennis.
This free tennis clinic is twice a year at MTSU. The head coaches and players are on hand to show these kids the basics of the game.
We do an hour and a half of instruction. We let them borrow rackets if they don't have a racket, so they can get a kind of little snippet taste of tennis. And we tell them about our matches and how we have there's other options to get it introduced to tennis a little bit more seriously.
Over 100 kids came out to play along with MTSU's men's and women's teams to get them warmed up and ready to play.
Just trying to introduce kids to a different sport. It's not the traditional basketball, football, soccer that kids gravitate to, and at the same time I like to get my student athletes to give back.
Coach tells us his players love this event and seeing how excited the kids are. If you missed this one, there will be another one in the fall. For CityTV, Michael Linn White. Discovery School first graders get dressed to the nines at a tea party soiree, an event they've been looking forward to for months. Cheers. It's something these first graders at Discovery School have been looking forward to for months.
So we are at Tea Party Soiree. It all started many years ago with one of our teachers named Mrs. Booney. She was reading Fancy Nancy, and all the students came up with the idea of why can't we have a tea party?
The school gym was transformed into an elegant setting. The students dressed in their finest, ready to practice what they've been learning in the classroom, all about tea.
The kids love learning the etiquette lessons, the history of tea, how it was traded, how it was stolen, and parents come in and help us put on an amazing event for the students.
There's more to this event than just tea. It's also teaching these kids valuable skills they can use anywhere.
They also practice writing their toast with public speaking. So that is amazing. And then in gym, they learn the box step. So we get to tie in kind of everything. Gym, writing, public speaking, etiquette, soft skills. So it's all inclusive.
The tea party is so popular, it's often the first things kids talk about at the beginning of school.
As always, the question on open house, when is tea party? That's it. When is tea party? Not what I need to bring to school, not what is your favorite color, but when is tea party?
This party is a special memory for the students and their parents. And for the teachers, they say it's one of their favorite and most heartwarming things the entire year.
I love seeing the students' reaction. So it's a work of love for them. It's kind of like when you go downstairs on Christmas morning, or you wake up and you have a birthday present and you have all this excitement. That's what we feel like as teachers, that we get to gift this to them.
The Tea Party Soiree has been happening since the early 2000s, with plans to continue this sweet tradition for years to come. For CityTV, Michael Linn White. The first Seuss Burrow event at Patterson Park celebrates Dr. Seuss's birthday with games, free books, and more. In honor of the iconic children's author Dr. Seuss, Patterson Park held its first ever Seuss Burrow toddler event.
We wanted to celebrate Dr. Seuss's birthday, which was at the beginning of the month, so we figured let's just have an event leading out the month and call it Seuss Burrow.
Little ones and their parents could enjoy story time and a whole gym to run around in with games, crafts, and books.
Before our event started, we had story time in the library, and the kids were able to listen to Dr. Seuss books, and then they did some crafts, and then they made their way to the gym for some activities, more crafts, and obstacle courses.
Organizer Crystal Ellis McFerrin says these events are her favorite because kids can be themselves and just have fun.
I love to have events where parents can bring the kids and they can just run around and be free. As I always say, there's no judgment here. If they want to run wild from here to there, it's okay. There's no structure to it. Just come in and have a good time.
Toddler events like this will now be held every last Friday of the month. Check out the Patterson Park Facebook page for more information. For CityTV, Michael Linn White. 2 city employees were honored by Mayor Shane McFarland at a recent city council meeting for representing the city in a positive light, exhibiting the core values and creating a better quality of life for citizens. Maria Roughton and Crystal Ellis McFerrin are the newest STARS Award recipients. STARS stands for Succeeding Through Attitudes Reflecting Service Excellence. Maria Roughton works for the Building and Codes Department as a permit technician. The following STARS Award nomination was submitted by a city employee.
Maria is always willing to help her coworkers and customers at any time with a good attitude and a smiling face. You can tell that she genuinely cares for people, and she loves how she is so patient when a person comes in and needs assistance with language translation. She goes above and beyond to help others and to make sure they're okay. This is true even when she has a heavy workload herself. She is much deserving of this award. Maria, it brings joy to my heart to know that we have someone of your character working for the city.
Crystal Ellis McFerrin works for the Parks and Recreation Department as a program coordinator at Patterson Park Community Center.
Last month, during the after-school enrichment program, Snack Time, Crystal noticed a 9-year-old child was choking and could not breathe. She immediately dropped what she was doing and quickly ran over to the child and administered the Heimlich maneuver. Thankfully, she was able to dislodge what was causing the young girl to choke and not be able to breathe, and the young girl was safe. This was a big relief for Crystal and everyone that was around. The child's grandmother was very grateful and appreciative for Crystal's quick response and for performing the Heimlich maneuver.
Congratulations to Maria Roughton and Crystal Ellis McFerrin for being named STARS Award recipients. During the month of March, City Hall's Rotunda was filled with elementary students' art for the Murfreesboro City Schools 2022 Art Show. Winners were announced by the director.
In kindergarten, our 3rd place winner is Hudson from Overall Creek. 2nd place goes to Rhodes from Northfield. And 1st place goes to Emerson from Reeves Rogers. Congratulations. In 1st grade, our 3rd place winner is Rowan from Cason Lane. 2nd place goes to Iris from Overall Creek. And our 1st grade 1st place winner is Addison from Hopgood. For 2nd grade, Sophia from Irma Siegel is our 3rd place winner. Savannah from Reeves Rogers is our 2nd place winner. And our 1st place award for 2nd grade goes to Simon from Black Fox. Our 3rd grade winners include Gianna from Cason Lane for 3rd place, Emily from Black Fox, who won 2nd place. And our 1st place winner in 3rd grade goes to Peyton from Hobgood. For 4th grade, Dorico from Cason Lane came in 3rd place. Ruby from Irma Siegel is our 2nd place winner, and 1st place for 4th grade goes to Chloe from Overall Creek. In 5th grade, congratulations to Jude from Overall Creek for your 3rd place award-winning art. Lauren from John Pittard is our 2nd place winner in 5th grade, and 1st place for 5th grade goes to Corinne from Overall Creek. For 6th grade, Sophia from Black Fox won 3rd place. Congratulations to Bella from Cason Lane for winning 2nd place. And congratulations to Allie from Black Fox for your 1st place win in the 6th grade category. Congratulations to each of our artists in every grade level for producing some tremendous work this year. You have a lot to be proud of. I'm very excited to announce now who our Best in Show winner is for this year. Our Best in Show was selected by a panel of judges, and we want to thank them for coming out and dedicating their time as well. This year's Best in Show goes to Morgan from Hobgood Elementary in the 2nd grade. Morgan's artwork, One Line Owl, was selected because of her unusual technique and great artwork. Congratulations, Morgan, and job well done.
CityTV has partnered with Paws of Rutherford County to bring you the Pet of the Month. This month, 2 dogs are featured. It's warming up, and if you need an outdoor activity buddy, Robbie is your guy. Robbie is an 11-month-old pit bull mix. Robbie is our longest pet resident, and we can't believe it. He's such a fun boy. Robbie is a very smart, loving boy with a little puppy kick still in him. He could use some extra training to flourish into the greatest dog around. He is completely satisfied with a zillion tennis balls, playing fetch, and sitting for treats. The more activities, the better. Robbie is neutered and up to date on his vaccinations. Charlie, a 1-year-old blue tick hound mix. If you're looking for a semi-overgrown puppy, look no further than Charlie. Seriously, Charlie is super fun and loving, as long as he has a consistent routine and lots of run and play time. He is a happy boy, and he likes to bring out his puppy spirit sometimes, but it's pretty well behaved. He will sit and fetch, so come see for yourself. Shelters across the country are in crisis with overcrowding and other significant obstacles such as a seasonal high intake of puppies, lack of spay-neuter services during the pandemic, short staffing, slowed adoptions, and more. Paws is open Monday through Friday, 12 to 6 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Sunday by appointment only. Contact Paws to learn more. Their website, www.paws.rutherfordcountytn.gov/adopt, or by phone at 615-898-7740, or by email, paws@rutherfordcountytn.gov. Sportscom recently was the venue for a cornhole tournament organized by Elite Cornhole. 78 players attended the Saturday tournament with 18 sets of boards, along with a big crowd of spectators. The number 1 and number 5 players in the world, Matt and Brett Guy, were there competing. The Washington Theater inside Patterson Park hosted its first Battle of the Bands competition. There was a full house with 7 fabulous bands competing. A band called Arbor was the winner. Stay tuned, future battles are being planned in the near future. The Murfreesboro Police Department has partnered with Volunteer Behavioral Health Care System in adding the department's first mental health corresponder. Heather Newless is a full-time employee with Volunteer Behavioral Health Murfreesboro, but is assigned to work with Crisis Intervention Team officers at MPD. Newless will assist officers responding to mental health calls for service and conduct evaluations and assessments of mental health consumers. Bridging the gap between law enforcement and mental health with on-scene resources is our goal, said Newless. Reducing the stigma surrounding mental health in our community is key. Mark your calendars for Pioneer Days and Earth Day, both on Saturday, April 23rd. Pioneer Days is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Cannonsburg Village. Free admission for all ages, hay rides, live music, blacksmith demonstrations, food trucks, Stones River Car Club Auto Show, and more. Earth Day is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the historic downtown square. Free to the public, live music, food, educational booths, the Kids Zone, tree giveaway, and much more. Well, that's it for this edition of In the City. As always, for more information about the City of Murfreesboro or any of the stories you've seen here, you can always visit our website at www.murfreesborotn.gov. And if you want to see any of the stories that you've seen today or catch up on some of the latest city news, you can always visit the City of Murfreesboro's YouTube channel. I'm Michael Linn White, and until next time, we look forward to seeing you in the city.